Good morning, traders. Welcome to the live trading room. I hope you are all well this morning. Let's go through the pairs in the sequence that they are in as on the website here. We'll start with the US dollar pairs. Let's start with Euro US dollar and the DXY. Euro US dollar, the structure that we've been looking at on the daily does not look like it will play out. Let's have a look at this. We spoke about this one yesterday. Let's start with the Euro US dollar and look at the bigger corrective structure. Yes, there is some pullback, but it's hardly any convincing. We are currently with just below the blue box area. So our invalidation level is here. Let's mark that invalidation level. This is the invalidation level as far as this move is concerned. So once we start getting to this level, that means this is extended, and that means it is going down as an impulse. So we've got that. So the pullback here is currently happening at 61, but it's hardly any convincing. It's hardly convincing for a reversal there on Euro US dollar. So even if we do get a pullback, what we are likely to get here is a pullback like this that will give us an impulse, possibly in 5 waves, and then we're going to have to integrate the rest of the structure to the rest of the chart here on all the time frames. So that is a Euro US dollar for now. We just wait for that pullback. So we don't do anything there. Pound US dollar. Let's have a look here at what we expect. Let's just open each and every one of these charts. We'll start with the Euro US dollar, the London. We've been expecting this one to pull back, which has not happened. So that has not happened. So we'll be looking for this one to have gone down as an impulse. This is the latest chart from yesterday, so we'll be looking for this one to go down and at an impulse. We are still going to expect this until it is invalidated at 1.22 as indicated here. Only when we get to this level will we invalidate the view. So we have to stick to the rules. The rule is that we invalidate when we get to 1,618 extension of this move. So that is what we have there. So that we're still looking for that to be a move in as long as we do not get to 1,22. So a touch of 1,122 on the euro means that structure is invalidated. So that's what we have there. Let's have a look at the daily chart. So just to remind you, the structure that we're looking at, this is the reason why we've been looking for this to be a wave 4. Let's get my mouse to sit on a flat surface here. Let's get my mouse to sit on a flat surface. So we've been looking for this to be a wave 4 and for this to push up for a wave 5 to complete this bigger corrective structure here in this blue degree A, B, and C. As you can see, if we do not touch this level, this structure does not make sense. So if we're going to come down from here, that means there's going to be a different structure that is still going to that is going to be even more sideways than what we currently have. But if we get this wave 4 coming to take here, that will complete this structure. Then we can expect this one to come to the downside. But if we start going down from here, that changes the structure completely, and we could be possibly making another structure like this here. So a combination of that, whichever structure is going to play out, this is all speculation for now, but we will be watching this if it does not give us this move that we are looking at. That is the euro, and the DXY will be the same, just the inverse. So then the DXY. The DXY will be similar. This is on the 1 hour. We're looking for this one to give us the last move here and then a push to the downside here on the 1 hour, provided also that on the DXY, we do not have an invalidation. Let's have a look here at what the invalidation is going to be. So with the DXY, the invalidation is also going to be at 1,618 at 96.44. We touch around this level, 96.4, then that means this structure is not going to play out and we're going to disqualify it and look at a different structure. So at this point here, a pullback can likely be just giving us the 5th wave, and we'll have to integrate that to the rest of the structure. Pound US dollar, let's have a look at the pound US dollar. Pound US dollar, the expectation from from the start of the week, if you remember the charts, we've been looking for this to start a 3-wave push from here. We have made already the 3 waves in this red degree. Looks like we've got the red degree there. Let's call it the purple degree. 1, 2, 3. This is what we've made so far. Now, because we're looking for a bigger structure, if you look at the chart from about Tuesday, you'll see that we were looking for a bigger structure like this. This is what we had from Monday. So even if we do get this here to the downside, we can still expect that we get a bigger corrective structure. And if we get that corrective structure, we'll be looking to sell pound to the downside some more. Okay, so let's keep an eye on that. So just to give an indication on the daily. So it's easy to always just see the daily chart, because they're all just readily available on the site here like that. So we're looking for this to push one more up, and then we're going to get to the downside. But what we have here is, this is where we are. We're looking for this one to pull back, give us one more down, one more up, and then we're done with this move. So essentially this 3-wave structure, and we're done with the move to the upside. But there's a likelihood that this can actually start moving from the downside, because unlike the euro, this is a complete expanding flat. You can see this is a complete touch. It breaks the low, breaks the top. So it's an expanding flat, and it can break from here. So that's why if we get that pullback that we're getting in 3 waves, and it gives us a sell setup, we're going to take it, because there's a likelihood that it can go down without making a move to the upside. So we're watching that one there. All right, so that is a pound US dollar. For hour, that's the pullback you're seeing there. That's the 4-hour. Latest New York chart, 3 waves is in progress. We're looking for that, and then a drop. Okay, so that's pound US dollar. Let's go to the rest. US dollar CAD. Let's have a look at US dollar CAD. Let's go back to the 4-hour. So US dollar CAD, we are looking for this to be a corrective structure. When this is done, we will look to take this to the downside. I want to check the indicators in the daily as well as in the 4-hour to see how far this is going to go. So what looks to be happening here is that we've got this 3-way structure here. We've got, let's draw it cleanly. We've got 1, 2, 3. Internally here, we've got 1. Let's use a different color there. We've got 1, 2, 3. Let me actually start it from the internal structure so you can see why I'm showing 3 waves. There is a structure there. There's 3 waves there. 1, 2. There's 3 waves there. There's this one here. And there's this one here that we're looking at now. So US dollar CAD, W, X, Y is a structure that we're looking at here. So we could have this one as a 1, 2, 3 waves, and then we drop. So we're watching for that to play out. So especially if it gets to the 50% of this, which is almost there, 61%, we look for this one to push lower. We're actually looking for this to come down here, but it's pushed a little bit higher. Okay, so that is US dollar CAD. Let's show the chart that we have there on the US dollar CAD. So that is the 1-hour chart. We're looking for this one to slightly push to the upside here and continue to the downside. Right, so that's what we have there on the US dollar CAD 4-hour. Just looking for that corrective structure to play out and then come down. US dollar chief. Now US dollar chief, okay, I'm going to show you the alternative here. Let's go to the chart first here. So US dollar chief. We're looking for this one to be an ABC corrective structure, but if you look at this structure, there's a different
there's a different structure that is playing out that is a lot clearer than what we have here. So we're looking for this one to be making this and to continue to the downside here. Let's have a look at the structure that it's actually making here. And looking at the strength of the US dollar, we also looked at this possibility on US dollar chief. This is now overextended, and you can see this is now impulsive, this move here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now with that, this is also an impulse, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that whole thing there looks like a corrective structure as follows. So we'll have this as 3 down, 3 up, and 3 down. So there's a possibility that we get this one as A, B, and the C, and then we start dropping. If we're dropping with that move, we are going to complete this structure. So we may have a blue box area here and then a drop of the US dollar chief. So let's watch this push a little bit higher and see if it's going to come down at current levels. Maybe a slight push to the upside before the drop. Audi US dollar, nothing but the pullbacks, still playing out those corrective structures, those bigger corrective structures. It's indicated we're only going to need to see entries here. So we've got the move down here in 3 waves, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. We're looking for this one to now give us a pullback. Trend and resist, support and resistance traders will be looking for this to make a pullback to go retest the trend line. And we know that that simply just is a little structure for a continuation pattern. And we'll be looking for this one to continue to the downside. If we do get that pullback that we're looking for, we're also looking for a pullback on US dollars and New Zealand. Same structures, as you can see, they've played out these corrective structures in 3 waves as follows. We've come back down, we may break lower here and come back for a move like this. That will be our entry, that will be our sell setup if we're getting that. So we started with the move down here, we've got a pullback in 3, so we'll be looking for this to continue to the downside as follows. US dollar ZAR. So US dollar ZAR, we're looking for a possibility of a leading diagonal with this bigger corrective structure, with this move here. With this move here, it looks like this is going to push a little bit higher. Remember, wave 5 can break above the upper boundary of 3 and 5, of rather 1 and 3. So we are seeing a continuation pattern here. So US dollar ZAR is going to push a little bit higher. Will this just be an overshoot of wave 5 with 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5? That's what we'll be looking at for, because we're seeing a push to the upside here on US dollar ZAR before the move to the downside. Pound yen. Let's have a look at pound yen. Pound yen is showing us a setup for downside here with this. If we get that move, that corrective structure, we'll be looking to sell, because just like pound US dollar, pound yen has also reached a level where this can start dropping. Let's go look at that structure on the side here. Let's go to pound yen. I hope you guys are liking the new website. It is so seamless and easy for me as well when I'm doing the presentation, because everything is just here. Let's have a look at pound US dollar. So pound US dollar, there's this move that we're looking at here. WXY, XZ, we're looking for this to be a reaction. We've got a move here. We are around this. This is the latest London chart that was done about an hour ago. So we'll be looking for this one to push a little bit higher. If it goes up in 3 waves, like I was indicating, we could be in for a big move to the downside. Okay, because if you look at the bigger structure here on the daily, pound yen has already reached this level. Just like pound US dollar has already reached this level. So there's nothing that stops this from dropping from current levels. So either way, whether we make one move to the upside, then downside, doesn't really matter. We should be able to catch either move. Let's go to US dollar yen. Right, US dollar yen, we were looking for this to just continue from current levels after breaking this corrective structure here. 1, 2, 3. It goes up in 1, 2, 3. Did not go all the way. We went to see consolidation and a push to the upside. But what is essentially happening here now is that we're going to have another 1, 2, 3. Take the low, make the structure, and still continue to the upside. That is US dollar yen. Push to the downside and then move to the upside. Euro yen. Euro yen, we want to see a pullback here. The focus was for this to pull back and we get a continuation pattern, but this is now overextended, just like what we have on the euro. So we'll be looking for this one to do this at least. If it does this, at least back to the 50% of this, we'll be selling the euro for the long term to the downside. I've shown why we would sell the euro for the long term, and I've also done the yen pair analysis, LTA on Tuesday, detailing exactly what the possibilities are. World Chief continue to the upside from here. Also at critical level, we want to see if it's going to give us this. If it gives us that, we're going to look to sell there. That is Chief yen. Reaction higher on all the yen pairs. The question is only whether those reactions are going to come impulsively or they're going to come correctively. If they're coming correctively, we are going to sell the yen pairs. You can see the setup is for upside in the short term, but how far will that go? Those pullbacks, let's see. New Zealand. New Zealand is another one with the corrective structure here. We're looking for this one to push up in 3. We'll make a decision when we get to this level as to whether we get a sell set up there or not. KDM, same. We're not getting out of the structure. We're still looking for downside here. If we're going to get this one here, pullback, that means same as what we're expecting with the rest. We're going to need a bit of patience with the yen test. Let's let them pull back. If they pull back and they give us these sell setups, long-term downside across all the yen tests. So be patient. Let's go to commodities. Gold. 1, 2, 3. Played up this structure, running flat on the red degree. 1, 2, 3. Focusing this yesterday. We're looking for this to continue to push to the upside. We've got a setup here for continuation to the upside, so gold will continue to push out. Silver, also 3 waves and a continuation pattern. We'll see silver push to the upside. Look at that, it's about 50. We've already reset it. We'll see silver push a little bit higher. Platinum. Simply because we're expecting higher on silver and gold, we'll expect platinum to do the same as well. And this is the continuation pattern that we are looking at on platinum. That expanding flat, and we look for more upside. Brent crude. Okay, so that structure is not reversed yet. We're looking for this to give us a blue box setup around this level. Just project it. Actually within the blue box right now. So let's look at, see if we can have a reaction here. That is what we're looking at on Brent crude oil. Pound Audi. Looks to be starting an impulsive move to the upside here, Pound Audi. After this, on Tuesday, we saw this breaking out of this structure. So there's going to be a move to at least here, because we're looking for this one to be doing this. Now with this, it looks extended and it looks like we're going to go for a wave 3. So Pound Audi looking for upside there. Let's watch that pullback.
is at the end of that move, are we going to see pound Audi start dropping and they will made this corrective structure? Let's watch the current levels. Way above 50 currently on the 4-hour. As far as the other side is concerned, we'll look to see if this is going to continue to the downside. Let's see here. It's the daily as well. Daily, we need to wait a little bit more for this to confirm here, because if you look at the daily, it's confirming a downside here. We just popped up about 50, but the likelihood is that this is going to continue lower. And it makes sense. We've got a three-wave structure, and that looks to have pulled back to about 50% of the whole move. Very likely that we're going to see pound Audi continue to the downside. We tested this, so yeah, this is not necessarily going to be an impulse because we touched this. What do I mean by that? I was looking to see if there's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the downside, but if this is a 4, this is a 1, so we don't want this 4 to be in the territory of wave 1. So this is going to be a different structure. We look for this one to start confirming downside. That is pound Audi. Pound New Zealand. Pound New Zealand is a lot clearer. Look at the daily setup here. Pound New Zealand, guys, this is a setup for downside. You can actually sell this right now. It's in the blue box. Let's see if it's not reversed too far from the blue box on the 4-hour. There we go. That is a textbook blue box setup here on pound New Zealand. And I'm going to add a position. It's not too late here. I'm going to add a position here right now on pound New Zealand. So pound Audi will do the same. Just hold a second. I'm going to open a position on pound New Zealand. And pound Audi. 1% each. Right, so if you don't want to buy it from the blue box, you can wait for it to break lower here. But this is a textbook example of a blue box. It is here. We are right within the blue box, not an inch higher, not an inch lower. Right inside the blue box. Okay, we're actually right within the blue box. Okay, just for a second. I just want to share this to the admin so they can put it up as a trade setup. I'm going to stop sharing the screen for a bit. I'm still here, guys. I'm just sharing this so they can post it up on the trade setups. Okay, we are back. Let's check something here. Let's check the 4-hour. Start to confirm. Already same. All right, pound CAD. So essentially, we've also made a three-wave structure on pound, three-wave pullback on pound CAD 1, 2, 3. Do we see a reversal from there? Let's see what we're going to get. The 4 hours still right above, but let's check what the daily is showing us. We are bearish as far as the daily is concerned. So the daily is only just popping up above 50, but this is already resetting here. So very likely that we are going to see this come down. Let's keep an eye. Right, pound chief also pulling back, but look at what the indicators showing us. Even if it is impulsive, this actually is a three-way move. So we'll look for this one to continue lower. Let's go look at the 4 hour. The 4 hour, as much as the RSI is not below 50 as yet, we can see there's a likelihood that these three waves start pushing to the downside. Keep an eye on this. Any decent entry here would be a good one for downside. Right, pound, euro pound, no change. Look for this to continue lower. Euro Audi. So euro Audi, just like pound Audi, we're looking for this to drop here. This is set up on the 4 hour. The only thing that you need here is a 4 hour candle closing below the lower boundary, below the lower boundary of this flag. So euro Audi, we're looking for this. Okay. Euro New Zealand. This one will continue lower, whether we make a bounce or not, or just like that. A bounce will mean we are making the structure. If we don't make that structure, we are going to just continue to the downside. EuroCAD, expect a three-wave pullback. Euro Chief. Euro Chief is going to give us a three-wave pullback as well. You can see it's coming down there, and there's divergence there. It's making lower lows, so we'll expect this to give us a three-wave pullback. Audi New Zealand. We spoke about this one yesterday when we saw this one breaking lower here. It's already dropped about 50, 60 pips. Audi CAD. So Audi CAD, we've got a three-wave pullback here. Expect this to continue lower here. We have reset it, we are still below 50. Audi Chief. Audi Chief not clear. What needs to happen here? 1, 2, 3 back. We'll want to see this one push to the upside. So I probably want that. CAD final spike happened there on my New Zealand CAD. And with that spike, we look to have completed a three-wave structure. And the question is whether we are going to get this expanding flat. 1, 2, 3. Is that all the move? And we're gonna start to get a move to the downside. Let's have a look closely. So what this means is that we've had a move to the upside. Now we're coming down with this, and this is now pulling back, and this can continue to the downside. That is New Zealand CAD, New Zealand Chief. New Zealand Chief also making a three-wave structure, 1, 2, 3. When that is done, we should see downside. CAD Chief, we've had the pullback here. 1, 2, 3. Look for this to continue lower. Any 1 hour correction, look to take it to the downside. Look at this here. So we saw that impulsive move to the upside. Remember, we have been looking for this to make a three-wave structure like that. But then when it made this move here, it looked like it was going to continue to the upside. But now we can see what we're expecting is actually right. Any 1 hour correction here, you look to take it lower.
S&P 500. What could possibly happen with the S&P 500 after the structures I showed you yesterday is that we can make a flat here and continue to the upside. So all we can, that's all that can happen. With the Dow Jones, we'll make a 3-wave pullback and then upside. Nasdaq also making what looks like a 3-wave pullback. We'll look for upside eventually again. UK 100. UK 100, we know that that's going to be a pullback after this divergence that we're seeing here. This is making higher highs. We're going to see this. We can even see this pullback here, giving us one more. DAX continues to push up higher. We'll look for pullback here and more upside. Still bullish. In the Nikkei, looks like it's still playing out the diagonal in the Nikkei. 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. So we're looking for this one to complete the 5 there before coming down. Nifty is so obvious. We've got 3 waves down. 1, 2, 3. Expect this to do this as well. For the WXY corrective transfer as well. And then upside. Right. Let's go to the cryptocurrencies. Bitcoin. We'll be looking to see Bitcoin around this level. We've got the 3 down, 3 up, broke the top here. We want to see this break the low here, make it expanding flat and push to the upside. We're currently consolidating here. We want to see this down here and then upside. Ethereum. Ethereum, we've got 1, 2, 3. We will see this one push a little bit lower. But we'll see this one move to the upside. Litecoin. It's a 3-wave move to the downside. We'll just wait for Bitcoin and then we'll see a reversal. Let's watch that move. We can't even get something like this. XRP. Still where we were yesterday. It's gone up with 1, 2, 3. Expect this to continue a little bit lower as expected from yesterday. We still want to see a little bit of a move to the downside. Similarly, Doge. I've shown the whole structure on Tuesday. We're looking for this one to do this and then continue lower. ADA. Looks like we're going to continue lower here as well. And we can be consolidating around these levels before pushing to the upside. Right, Solana. Solana, so far it's a 3-wave move. One, two, 3. Still showing continuation to the downside there, Solana. We're expecting that. And Shiba. Shiba is consolidating around current levels. So it's 3 down. Looks like we're going to get something like this. Shiba. 1 more down and then upside. So this is to complete that. We should get an impulse from there and continue to the downside before we see upside. And that's all I have for you today, guys. Don't forget to check out the LTA at 10 a.m. GMT. Good day, everybody. Cheers. Bye-bye. Now we won't take the all website down here until everybody has been migrated and they're able to log in.
you want. So you still have access to both websites. All right, you're welcome, guys. Cheers. Bye-bye.